Zen, like always, finds it impossible to mind his own business. He asks her if she decided to stay because she has some business with Harold. At hearing his name, the smile on Erica's face fades away. Zen is too dumb to take a hint, so he keeps on yapping about how he's worried about Harold overworking himself by constantly being busy lately. Erica doesn't respond and keeps glaring at him. After a couple of minutes, Zen eventually asks her if there is something wrong. Erica hesitates at first, but musters up the courage to ask him if the reason why he thinks so highly of Harold is because he's not aware that Harold used magic to murder a servant. Zen is caught off guard by that question. He scratches his head and stutters. He tells her that there are only rumors, and since they can't be sure whether those rumors are true, they shouldn't jump to conclusions like that. Erica raises her voice and states that Harold confirmed the rumors himself. She asks him how he could be so careless about the matter when it all happened in his presence. Zen freezes in his place when he realizes that he has yet again messed up. Erica takes a short pause and then asks him how she can blindly follow Harold like him. Her conscience would never allow her to accept Harold and forgive him after he has killed a human. He admits that even though she is his fiancée and wants to help her people for her father's sake, this is something that she can't overlook. As she says that, Harold has made her let go of only one option of becoming useful to the Sumeragi family. Tears start dripping from his eyes. She eventually gives in to her emotions and yells that the only thing on her mind is that she cannot bring herself to forgive him no matter what. Zen is like a deer in headlights. He is unable to speak or move. Eventually, Erica calms down and apologizes for showing unprofessional behavior despite being ignoble. She wipes her face and leaves the place. Zen just stands there and thinks about how similar Erica and Harold are. Harold saved the woman and her child, despite bearing the dishonor of being a murderer, whereas Erica is trying to swallow her true feelings for the sake of the Sumeragi people. Zen concludes that, given their similarities, there is no way these two should be allowed to go their separate ways while hating each other. Yet again, in his best attempt to help Harold, he is only going to mess up his plans. He believes that since these two possess the same strength and kindness, they should be able to show their true selves and support each other. Zen decides to let his intrusive thoughts win and he stops Erica. He requests her to follow him. Erica is as confused as us. In his inner monologue, he apologizes to Harold for what he's about to do. He claims that he's afraid that one day he will shatter into pieces and that he cannot tolerate such a sight. He clenches his fist and decides to go against his orders. He knows that he might lose Harold forever, but he is ready to accept that if it means getting rid of some of the thorns in Harold's path. He's decided that Harold absolutely needs Erica. His plan is basically to drag the girl to Harold's room and then lock it from the outside. He smiles mischievously as he executes his plan. He apologizes to Erica and promises her that he will be back in 5 minutes. Little did he know that he does not have even 5 minutes to carry out his plan. Harold casually passes Zen and opens the door to his room. Thankfully, Harold is clueless about the situation and asks Zen what he's doing outside of his room. Zen quickly takes his defensive stance as Harold looks like a furious cat that hasn't been fed. Apparently, Erica has managed to hide in Harold's closet, and her heart is throbbing like crazy as it will break out of her rib cage any time. Zen has pushed her into an embarrassing situation and escape seems impossible. Zen asks Harold where he has been all this time and the latter replies that he was simply eating in the dining room. Harold seems annoyed, so Zen cuts to the chase and asks him if he knows that the rumors of Clara have been spreading quite far. He claims that he went to the town shop earlier and all the shopkeepers and customers pestered him all about it. The conversation has piqued Erica's interest and she listens carefully. Zen continues by saying that he has not revealed anything to anybody, but this can take a shot at Harold's reputation. Harold takes a deep breath and says that the way Zen was panicking earlier, he thought he might have something important to say. Harold states that he does not consider this matter to be important because there is nothing that he can do about it. Zen already knows the answers to all the questions and he's not as stupid as we might think. He still asks Harold what the issue is and Harold finally reveals that he cannot announce to the public that Clara and Colette actually safely escaped to Blush Village and are still alive. The time stops momentarily for Erica and she realizes how judgmental she has been without even having any evidence. Harold adds that if by any chance his parents were to catch the wind of Clara being alive, he would become suspicious in their eyes. Zen asks the main question now. He asks her why he isn't willing to reveal the truth to his fiancée who seems incredibly depressed over these rumors. Without wasting a second, Harold sharply responds that Erica must never find out. We know that the real reason is to avoid death flags while sticking to Harold's original storyline. Hirasawa decides to make up some reason because he knows that otherwise, Zen's kindness could lead to his downfall. Little does he know, Zen is 5 steps ahead of him. Harold states that since Erica started crying, after assuring that he had killed them, she is just going to be a liability for him. He claims that he doesn't want someone who sheds tears and sympathy for people who they don't even know. He says that her kind personality is a weakness because if she were to walk beside him, she would always be hurt. Zen tries his best to save the situation and asks him if he is deliberately keeping her at a distance because he is worried about her. He states that there is no way he would get married to some annoying girl who cries at literally everything. Zen refuses to give up just yet. He asks him the point of the entire engagement thing if marriage is not an option. Harold calls Zen a numbskull and explains that the engagement was bought with money. He then narrates how the miasma plagues the forest, which was pivotal to the Sumeragai's economy. Obviously, Hiroshima knows all these facts because he played the game. He knows that Harold's parents did not think twice about agreeing to the arrangement because they were desperate for their bloodline. Zen scratches his head and tries to use his brain cells that are already on life support. He asks Harold if it's okay with the Sumeragai family being utterly destroyed as a result of him breaking the engagement. Harold smiles and reveals that he has already taken measures to take care of that. When he visited the Sumeragai territory, he passed a letter to Tasuku through Erika. In the letter, he described a method to manufacture an antibody that is effective against the miasma. He also informed him about the necessary precautions. If the region is only lightly contaminated by the miasma, they can use the drug to possibly return their forest industry to normal. Along with that, he also plans to offer them the LP farming method technique. The surprising part for Erika is when Harold mentions that he talked about it in the letter too. As long as the antibody and the LP farming work out, Erika's family won't suffer from breaking off of the engagement. Now, the question is Erika fine with it? Zen's action has changed everything, but Hirasawa is not aware of that. With a devilish grin on his face, Harold advises Zen to sort out his future too because the Stokes family is headed towards a downfall. If he doesn't want to be unemployed, Harold suggests he should prepare for the worst-case scenario. This is because the heavy taxation and the excessive spending are getting out of hand now. Hirasawa starts to panic when he realizes that Harold has not given any thought to the Stokes citizens. Harold scoffs arrogantly. Of course, his plan covers everything. He has made sure nothing bad would happen to the citizens by requesting Sumeragai to take care of them if the Stokes were to fall. Tasuku is connected with the royal family, so he will act as a liaison for their support, to put in good words whenever possible. After finishing the entire story, he gives Zen a death stare and promises to kill him if he ever let words gets out. Zen sweats from head to toe while nodding his head. His eyes keep shifting towards the closet. Harold commands him to scram, but Zen has a knack for being annoying. He comes up with a great excuse to drag him out of his room so Erika can escape. Zen tells Harold that he has always had an interest in swordsmanship, so he would like to see him train. Harold refuses at first, but then realizes that he can use Zen to improve his skills. The typical devilish smile crawls on his face as he hands Zen a sword and tells him to run as fast as he can. As soon as the duo leaves the room, Erika comes out and finally breathes peacefully. She rushes towards her room while Harold's words float in his mind. She keeps thinking about Clara and Colette, tears of happiness well up in her eyes knowing that those two are safe. However, she decides that she wants to confirm this information and tells everything to Yuno.